What in the world, Bo? What's going on, man? It's your boy Big Low Country. I hope everybody out there is doing good tonight. For everybody out there who know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach that loves to sit around and talk about sports. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us, and we definitely appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate that. First of all, if you're watching the show after we've gone live already, make sure that you put a what in the world Bo in the comment. I just want to verify where the love is coming from. Also, also, make sure that you hit that like button. If you hit that like button for me, I promise you I'll dance at your wedding one day. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and show love to everybody who's showing love to me. I got Coach John Brooks in here. Says, "What's up, Big Low? I smashed that like button. Go Falcons, rise up. What in the world, Bo, and everything else that come with it." Tigmeister's in here. He says no. The answer is no.
What's the question?
Can the Atlanta Falcons
Oh.
make it to the playoffs led by Marcus Mariota? That's the question.
Right.
Doggone Coach Ronnie. You just Iron Mike. Oh, he just said next question. He just Oh man, Dante Spade, what's going on, Coach? Cool Beans. He said, "What in the world, Bo?" He said, "I'm down off the ledge, Coach. I'm down off the ledge." Okay. I'm glad that you're safely on the ground, Bo. Glad that you're safely on the ground. Coach Ricky Gaines, Dre True Statements in here. What in the world, Bo? Um, wait a minute. Julian Rodriguez says, "Big Low, can you do something for me? Can you bench Marcus Mariota for me?" Oh man, if I could, I would, Bo. If I could, I would. Coach Dre, what's going on, Coach Dre? He says, "What up, beloveds? How y'all beloveds doing and feeling on this hump night tonight, beloveds? Hello, what's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing good, fam. Hope you're doing good. Definitely. So it's been a minute. The real, what's going on? What's going on, fam? It's been a minute, Coach Padre. Much love. What, about 10 days? 10 business days, because every day is a business day, for the coaching staff. It's been 10 business days since we talked, since we had a chance to interact a little bit, you know. Um, so the last time I talked to y'all, Marcus Mariota tried to do a whoopsie-doo corkscrew throw. 15-yard Hail Mary off of his right side. That's what happened the last time we talked. Moving forward, Arthur Smith came out yesterday. He said, "Hey, I'm going to do my best Arthur Smith impersonation as possible." I mean, there's no quarterback situation. I mean, you lose 2 games in 5 days, and everybody's panicking. Yes, coach, we're panicking. Yes, we're panicking. 5 days ago, we were at the top of the division.
Where we at now?
ATL says must win, Bo. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, but moving forward, Coach Arthur Smith, he came out, he said, "Hey guys, there's not a quarterback situation. Marcus Mariota is going to continue to be the starter, and basically it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I don't know if y'all follow Pound for Pound on YouTube. If not, you should check him out. But my homeboy Toby, it got to the point where he changed his name on Twitter. His name on Twitter now is "It Is What It Is." I mean, and that's basically where Falcons fans are at. It is what it is. Shouts out to Toby and JR Pound for Pound. But the fact of the matter is that since this is where we're at, we have to acknowledge, guys, that this team is going to have to try to win despite of Marcus Mariota and not because of him. And that's why I posed the question, can the Atlanta Falcons make it to the playoffs being led by Marcus Mariota? That's the $50 million question, Bo. Now I ain't got $50 million to give to you, but that's the $50 million question. Tyler Russell's in here. What in the world, Bo? He said, "Hey, Coach Ronnie." Edward Mitchell, what in the world, man? What's going on with you? What's going on with you? Much love to Coach Tyler and Coach Christine. See, the thing is that I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. Earlier today, I was down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, right? And shouts out to Coach Cole. He gave us a private tour, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. He said, "Hey, we toured the locker room." He said, "Hey, this is Coach Arthur Smith's office." Y'all know what I did? Took about 10 steps back, and I started charging the door. And I was finna give it a front kick because I was finna kick the door in. He said, "No, Coach, no, calm down." He said, "Flowery branch." I said, "Oh boy, man, you just saved that door, Bo, because I was finna kick that thing in." I said, "Hey, me and Coach Smith, we got a couple things that we need to talk about." They're like, "What you mean, Coach?" I was like, "Look, me and Coach Smith, we got a tumultuous relationship. It's an emotional roller coaster. We don't know what we want to do." I am a person, says Big Low. I'm convinced that our team is tanking. Look, I try to be optimistic, but they're playing like they don't want to win. Man, but the thing is that we know the way Arthur Blank runs this team. There have been many times where we could have had a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick, but we messed around and won at the last game of the season because we don't believe in tanking. That's how Arthur Blank is. He's not a tanker. He says, "Look, you nincompoops. Tanking is for losers." That's how he talks. 1920 gangster. So that being said, I don't know if it's one of those situations where we're trying to, we trying to do the tankathon. Todd says, "Unless Bo Jackson suiting up, we ain't winning." Bo know everything. Oh man, Coach Tyler, he says, "Hey Coach, will we see you at the stadium this week?" You probably will, but I don't know exactly where I'm gonna be sitting. So I'll let you know a little bit later on, Coach. But I don't know if I'm gonna be sitting in the normal seats or if I'm gonna have to hook up. So we gonna, I'll let you know on that one, Coach. I'll let you know on that one.
So basically, if you had to hook up, ain't nobody gonna be seeing you.
Yeah. You gotta bust me out like that, Coach Ronnie. See, you doing too much. Coach Christie, what's going on, Coach Christie? Red Swarm in here. What in the world, Big Low? Man, we trying to make it, boy. I'm trying to figure out this whole quarterback situation, and I'm trying to figure out if the Atlanta Falcons are going to have a chance when it comes to these Chicago Bears this weekend. Because at the beginning of the season and before the season started, everybody was looking at this Bears game and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's a dub." Like, "Oh yeah, that's an easy win." Now everybody's like, "Oh, I don't know." Justin Fields, he's starting to get a little bit wiggler, and he's starting to move the ball a little bit. So we're gonna see. Connor, he says, "What do we think, Coach? 2 more losses and then Ritter time, or do we still have a while?" But I tell you what, Coach. First of all, let me ask y'all this right here before we go on to that, because that's a really good question, Connor. Really good question. I want to ask y'all. Y'all know I just stay up front with it. Can the Atlanta Falcons make it to the playoffs with Marcus Mariota as the quarterback? If you feel like that is the case, they can make the playoffs. Put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like, it just ain't gonna happen. You feel like Michael Jackson on the Wiz, you can't win. Put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know. I just want to know. If you feel like we can make it to the playoffs with Marcus Mariota as the quarterback, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like it's done, it's a done data, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to know what y'all thinking. Got Coach Grandizer in here. What's going on, Coach Grandizer? Much love to you, Coach. Coach Granite says, home of the hello, hit the like/subscribe button. Much appreciated. I appreciate that, Coach. But Molly here flashing folks, Coach Ron. I don't know what you're gonna do with her. I don't know. Billy, you know you can get arrested for that, Molly Mall. Billy Bill says, Lord, what in the world about what's going on, man? What's going on? I hope you're doing good, Coach. But yeah, I agree with you, Dre. We ain't tanking. We ain't tanking. I legit see us put forth effort to try to win these games, which isn't good. Which isn't good. Carolina dog walked us on Thursday night. they dog walked us. Our bitter rivals. Why I oughta they just whooped up on us, man. You know, and it would make you feel better to say we were tanking, but we weren't tanking. We were trying. We were legit trying. That was Marcus Mariota taking the game into his hands. The legendary D-piece defense from 1982. The Gentleman Journal says, we might as well throw the season away at this point. Dang, Coach. Man. Golly.
Y'all know if we beat Chicago on Sunday, they're statistically eliminated from the playoffs.
Yes. If we beat Chicago, they're statistically eliminated.
Ooh, it's going to be an interesting win.
That's good.
It's going to be a fight because Justin Fields is trying his best.
I mean, look, if it was me, I'm coming back home. You didn't pick me.
Didn't pick him. Yeah. Look who you did.
Look who you did go with. So hey, it's that was the situation. But Marcus Mariota, he looked like he was throwing. One time it looked like he threw a ball. It's like he grenade. It was like it was a grenade. He pulled the pin. I hope somebody catch it, please. Somebody down there. Kyle Pitts a unicorn. Catch it on your horn, Kyle. Like, wait, what? Red Swarm, Coach Grandizer. They both say, it's not going to happen. Coach Molly Mall. He says, no, two, come join us. Lee Ross, Jay Murphy, Connor. They all say it's just not going to happen. They say, no, you ain't going to make it to the playoffs with Marcus Mariota. Dre True Statement says, if we get knocked out of contention, we will see Ritter. And I'm thinking that'll be the case. Coach Padre. And the thing is that Arthur Smith said, he was like, well, look, we're in the middle of a playoff race. Why change quarterbacks when you're in the middle of a playoff race? That's what the man said. I'm just telling you, don't shoot the message. I'm just telling you what he told me. He said, hey, we're in the middle. And like I said, I was trying to drop kick his dough when we was at the bend. I should have just sent a message.
We were on the tour, though.
I should have just sent a message. I should have said, hey, and just left the poster or something. You know? Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got to sit there as a favor. But man, boy, I was like, goodness gracious. Coach Padre says 1.5. I mean, every once in a while, the sun shines on the dog's butt. That's true. That's true. Every now and then. Monkeys fall out of trees sometimes. That's it. Ricky Gaines says 2. Not with Brady. Over in the Bay, smelling himself again. Yeah, he is. You know, he's newly divorced. You know,
his wife already on the scene with some guy.
Yeah, she SINGEL. I mean LE. JBM. He says it's not happening. Coach Dre says I'll down that hill myself. But that's the spite of him. Yeah. Get a little bit of honey in there too. Tyler Russell, he says 1 mathematically is possible despite Marcus Mariota's quarterback. The King's son, he says, heck no. He said it ain't happening. Ms. Mill says, "Can we please get off the Ritter train and just wait on it?" Zeno said, "It's best this morning." He said it best this morning. Where's our pass rush? Why are we giving up so many yards? That's what I want to talk about.
Good question.
And that's a great question. And that's something that we're actually going to talk about, Millie Mills. Oh, thanks so much, Coach Ron. But yeah.
It shouldn't be about it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, so to answer your question, Connor, um, and as a matter of fact, let me go back up so I can read Connor's question verbatim because I don't want to go down the wrong rabbit hole. He says two more losses. He says, "What do you think, Coach? Two more losses and then it's Ritter time." So Arthur Smith, he said earlier today, he was like, "Well, look, Marcus Mariota was playing hero ball on Thursday.
Hero ball?
That's what he said.
What does that mean?
He said that he was trying too hard to make things happen, and he lost control of the game. That's what the man said, which is basically, in a sense, that's saying, hey, Marcus Mariota is a game manager, and he tried to play like he was a legit quarterback."
I would hear that if it weren't for the fact that people like us and other people have been sounding the alarm for a while about Marcus Mariota and his decision making and his inability to protect the ball.
Yes.
So I would hear you if you're talking about hero ball from someone that's been consistent, been good, been reliable. But from even when we were at the top of the division, we were like, hey, there's some problems with Mariota. There's issues with him we need to address. I don't know if I believe that hero ball. I feel like that's an excuse for his guy.
Yes. Yes. That's all it was. I mean, and the crazy thing is that Marcus Mariota came out and said the same thing.
Yeah, he was playing hero ball.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota said, "Yeah, I was forcing the issue a little bit too much, and I was just trying to make something happen." So, what's that telling you? They talk to each other.
Yeah, they got the same story. They got their
They got the
story
same.
straight.
They got their story straight. So, I mean,
Wow. Was he playing? Does the coaching staff think he was playing hero ball?
well, let's ask them. So, coaching staff, y'all let me. Do y'all think?
Hero ball.
Y'all think the problem was Marcus Mariota was playing hero ball? If you feel like that's the case, put a 3 in the chat. If you feel like Marcus Mariota just had a bad game, put a 4 in the chat. You know, I just want to know. Calvin Douglas, he said, "Big Low, you a fool. Catch it on your horn." He said, "Grenade couldn't be more accurate." That's it. That's it. Shane is in here, says, "We only in the playoff race because everyone in our division is bad."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, are we really in a playoff race, or has everybody been trash?
It's been tough.
All it takes is for one of those teams to actually play decent football, which is what it's looking like is happening in Tampa, and there's no more chance of a playoff.
That's it. That's it. Red Swan said, "Bo, you got yourself you blessed, Bo. So you got yourself a real queen. You better be good to her."
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much, Coach. But while y'all putting those answers in here, you know, I always relate things back to my life and the stories that have happened throughout my years. You know, back whenever I was a young Thundercat, right? So once upon a time on a Sunday night, everybody was at my house sitting around. They were talking about snakes. This is before I could talk. I don't know, a year old. I couldn't really pronounce words and everything. So everybody telling stories about snakes, like, "Oh man, we had a snake in the car. Oh man, snake got in the house. It was crazy." You know, I seen a snake a couple times at that age, living in southeastern Georgia. All of a sudden, my parents said I freaked out. They said I wouldn't get. They tried to put me on the ground. Every time they tried to put me on the ground, I started crying. Couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Said I did it for 3 straight hours. They didn't know what was going on. Everybody had left. I was crying, going crazy. They take me to the emergency room. They take me to the emergency room. They run tests. Can't figure out what's going on. No temperature. Nothing. All of a sudden, the nurse look at me. Nurse said, "This young is scared. This young is looking like he's scared." She said, "What happened?" My parents like, "We were just sitting around talking, and all of a sudden, he just started freaking out." She said, "What was y'all talking about?" She said, "Oh, we were talking about snakes." She said, "That's what the problem is. You talking about snakes." I didn't say what I was scared of, but my action showed that I was scared of something. The same thing goes for Arthur Smith and Marcus Mariota. It's the same exact thing. They know what they are and are not capable of doing. And they're scared of actually playing balanced football, but they can't do it because they can't do it. They're scared of it. Cut and dry, simple and plain, Bo. Cut and dry, simple and plain. So just like Coach Roney said, they collude, put their stories together, say he's trying to play hero ball. No, you ain't playing hero ball. You ain't attempting to play hero ball. All it is that you just can't play the quarterback position. I said this. I said this on my show. I mean, on my Twitter, the other day. I think yesterday. Marcus Mariota is the equivalent of Colin Kaepernick right before he left the league, when he was only completing what 5-6 passes in a game and not getting over 100 yards. He looks like he's inept. He can't read the defense. He's not calling out blitzes. He's inaccurate with his throws. The only thing he can do is run. The only thing he can do is run. But the difference between Colin Kaepernick and the difference between Colin Kaepernick and your boy Marcus Mariota is that Marcus Mariota has somebody in his corner that's trying to keep him there for the long term. Coach Project says, Coach, Mariota was playing hero ball. The hero was handyman from 11 Color. Hello. Handyman. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Oh man, y'all are crazy. Handyman from 11 Color. Man, Coach Ron, there's a lot of threes in here. Coach Dre, Coach Grandizer, Tyler Russell. I believe 3 was hero ball. I believe 3 was hero ball. Edward Mitchell. Yeah, so Trey True Statement, he says he done said that after every loss. So ain't nothing to do. What's going on, Antonio Holloway? What's going on, man? Hope you're doing good. I'm a person says Big Low. Should the Falcons try to actually win? Because they got a good schedule. If they win at least 5 of the remaining games, they have a shot. Do you think they should just tank or actually try? Yes, you should actually try, Bo. There ain't no need in tanking. What's that gonna get you? You know? I mean, some people, they're pro tank. Me myself, like I pay a lot of money for these tickets. I pay a lot of money for this merch. I want to see my team win. I don't want them to see them coming out and losing on purpose. Like, no. Whenever we paid for our tickets back in January, I didn't have no intention that y'all were going to be losing on purpose in November. Yeah, so exactly. Oh, I need some of that money back. Look, I need y'all to, if you could, make sure that you hit that like button for me. You know, hit that like button. So me and Coach Roney said she's gonna dance at your wedding one day too. So make sure that you hit that like button. Definitely. Billy Mill says 5. He said it don't matter. Dude sucks, period. Cool B says 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Oh man. Man. Red Swarm, he says, Big Dog, where you from in South Georgia? I'm from Maydale, Cook County, Georgia. Oh yeah. We down there. That's yep, there's Georgia Southern. Gatta. You already know. Oh man. But yeah, it's one of those situations. What's going on, JGP? Much love to you, man. It's one of those situations. And Cliff's in here from Facebook. He says 3. We was down 10 the whole game. but he felt like it was 20 points.
He was playing like it was 55.
He was playing like it was 55. But yeah, it's one of those situations where we just need to make sure, because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, all that's telling me is that Marcus Mariota's gonna come out. He's just gonna take off running a lot. He's not gonna try to attempt those throws because what we're seeing, guys. We're seeing a lot of overcorrection. Marcus Mariota, to start the season out, he was a little bit more balanced in the New Orleans game. After a while, he got a little conservative. He tried to start running the ball a little bit too much. There were people who were open. He didn't throw it. Then we were saying, hey, coach, let him play quarterback. If he's your quarterback and this is who you're rolling with, let him play quarterback. They let him play quarterback, and it didn't work. It didn't work. They played against the Cincinnati Bengals, and they didn't let him play quarterback. So everybody was like, hey, coach, just let him play quarterback. It didn't work. Two straight losses in 5 days. 2 losses in 5 days. It didn't work. So now you got a chance coming up against this Chicago Bears team to kind of right the ship, because right now it's just like that old school song that they used to play back on Now That's Music. I don't know if you remember that song, Coach Ronnie. But now the Falcons looking like they're free. Dun, 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 dun. Free falling. That's what it's looking like. If they lose this game against Chicago, it's going to be. Oh, gosh. It's going to. So to answer your question, Connor, be honest with you, I wanted them to make the move a little bit sooner, but if they lose this next game and Marcus Mariota plays equally as bad, then I feel like they need to make the change, because Arthur Smith said it himself. He says, hey, if we're not protecting the ball and we're making the same mistakes, he's like, then there are going to be some tough decisions to make. So he kind of backtracked on what he said yesterday, what he said today. So that being said, I don't know if Terry talked to him, Arthur Blank talked to him. Somebody must talk some sense into him, because he's kind of changing his tune a little bit. But the question is, how do you beat the Chicago Bears? That's the question. How do you beat those guys? And I'm going to tell you something. Everybody's worried about Justin Fields. I don't think that should be the main concern. I don't think that should be the main concern, because the Chicago Bears have to stop us, right? I mean, even though Marcus Mariota has been inept at the quarterback position, we still are top 10 in the league in scoring. And a lot of people would say, well, why would you want to make that move? Because I'm sitting here looking at the potential on how much better you could be. But fact of the matter is that the Chicago Bears have gotten rid of key pieces to their defense. Robert Quinn, Smith. It's like, so with that being said, I really feel like the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to try to come back and, right the ship. It's going to be a run heavy offense, and Marcus Mariota is probably going to attempt less than 18 passes. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know.
Look, we got some people. Son said, we're hearing some chatter about Pitts. He said Pitts is going to win out. I can see it in his mannerisms. He was hungry to score that TD at the bench. Mams was hungry. Connor B concurs. He said, are we not worried about how Kyle Pitts may be feeling, especially after all the hype and barely any production?
I mean, yes, I've been saying this. The guy got 1,000 yards his rookie season. Now here we are at week 11. He only has like 350. That's not good. That's not good.
The real said Matt Ryan would have had Pitts in London with pro ball numbers.
Oh yes.
Nobody wants to. Oh yes. That.
Well, I mean, but the thing is that even though Matt Ryan would have had Pitts in London with those Pro Bowl numbers, he also would have had he been getting the defense Pro Bowl numbers with the amount of sacks that he had taken.
He would be getting sacked all over the place.
So I mean, we got to admit it. Like it was just time for Matt Ryan. But the thing is, and this is the problem that I have with Coach Arthur Smith, guys. I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you. And I said this before the season started. I don't like. We finna have a legit real moment right now. I don't like the fact that we got a coach who's the son of a billionaire. And the decisions that he makes, whether he is here or not, will affect us long term. Because if he runs this team into the ground, I'm just being completely honest with you. If he runs this team into the ground, he could just leave and become the head of logistics at FedEx. I mean, it's not his problem anymore. Kyle Pitts wants out. You have to convince him to stay. But the simple fact that there's a sense of entitlement with Arthur Smith. I'm just gonna put it out there to you. There's a sense of entitlement with Arthur Smith. And the simple fact that he has this whole my way or the highway system, everybody and their mama has been telling them Richard Sherman's on Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, saying, why aren't they making the change at quarterback? Everybody's saying it, but he just has this relationship with Marcus Mariota and he wants to continue to cultivate it. So I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the biggest problem that I have. Not only the simple fact that you have guys out here, not only for the simple fact that you have guys out here who, getting a head coaching job would give them generational wealth. You're giving more generational wealth to a guy who him and his great grandchildren are good.
So, what would be the difference to you in Arthur Smith's coaching style if he didn't have a trust fund behind him? What do you think the difference would be?
He wouldn't be so stubborn. Because just like Matt Town Dirty says in here, he says he has nothing to lose. What is he gonna lose? If he tries to win the way he wants to win, he has total control. He tries to win the way that he wants to win, and it doesn't work. Like, does it really hurt him losing $5 million a year? Not gonna hurt him. So it's like if it was one of those cases where he came from a middle class family, and that $5 million was a significant amount of money, he would be more proactive and he would listen to the things that the people up top and the things that other people have to say, because he would be more proactive about making sure that this team wins. And I don't want to be that guy, because it's like he came out and said whenever he got hired that he wants to blaze his own path.
Well, the King's son said, "Do you think the reason why he won't put Ritter in is because Ritter was a Terry Fontenot pick?"
I completely agree with that.
You think that's it?
The King's son, I completely agree with that. I feel like that's the case. I feel like there's a disconnect with Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot.
Yeah,
you can tell. And Terry Fontenot is doing an exceptional job, but Arthur Smith is like, and just look at the way Arthur Smith has treated Desmond Ritter and how he's treated Marcus Mariota. You seen during the preseason, he was just telling Desmond Ritter off, just cussing him out as he comes off the sideline. It wasn't that big of a deal. Marcus Mariota, on the other hand, is throwing helicopter passes, throwing corkscrew passes. Like, you don't know if he's Dominique Dawes or Marcus Mariota. You don't know who he is. And it's Simone Biles. And he's like, oh yeah, there's no quarterback situation. Anybody could see that Marcus Mariota isn't a good quarterback right now. Anybody can see it, but you can tell. If Mafia says, Desmond Ritter, he controlled the offense better, and everybody's saying, "Oh, well, you can't go off of that because preseason." I mean, at the end of the day, all of those guys that were out there were professional football
They
players.
said that Detroit only had 2 people in the lineup that weren't starters.
Well, what about the other game? The was it the Jacksonville game? They had a lot of starters in at the point when Desmond
So
Ritter was
essentially,
playing.
when he was playing, he may not have been playing against every starter, but the majority of the people that were playing were starters.
Yeah, and you got to remember, a lot of people that he was playing with on his team weren't starters. So
Right.
it's like
He
his
was
offense.
elevating the second string
Exactly.
against starters.
Exactly. Dirty Bird 08 says, "What's good, Lo? I've been said we got Matt Rule in disguise here in Atlanta. He isn't that good of a coach. I don't get all the love. Now, look, I'm not completely like writing Arthur Smith off because what I'm saying is that he has brought a level of mental toughness to this team. A lot of the games that we would have lost before, we're winning now. Now, look, it's one of those situations where we have to say, is it like a boo-boo sandwich and you just got more bread? Because if you're in a bad situation and things are just a little bit better, they just look awesome, right? It's one of those things. It's like, man, if you had just had $5 in your bank account this week, next week you got 10, you're like, oh man, we doing good now. But you still don't got that much money in there. Yeah, yeah. So it's just one of those situations. But I really feel like Desmond Ritter wasn't an Arthur Smith pick, and long term it's going to be one. Y'all don't forget this. Arthur Smith wasn't a Terry Fontenot pick.
No, he wasn't.
So
He was there before Terry came along.
yeah, there's a level of disrespect.
And it was clear in the beginning. Since you're being real, let's be real. It was clear in the beginning they didn't have complete trust in Fontenot when he came over because they tried to get like a co-GM situation with the guy from Chicago.
Yeah,
he sucked in Chicago.
Yes.
Then they tried to make it a co-GM, but clearly Fontenot like put his foot down because he became like a leader of the scouting team or something like that. So it was apparent that Arthur knew that there was some division about the Fontenot pick in the back office, and maybe a little bit of that was him feeling like, well, I don't have to listen to you. They didn't really want you here anyway.
Exactly.
But the way it has shaped out is that Terry Fontenot has done an exceptional job to the point where we're second with the money that we're going to have to spend next year. When we were so poor, we also used to put the jokes in the chat about how broke the Atlanta Falcons were. And now we're at the point where we can get pretty much anything we want next year because of the smart moves that Fontenot made. And now Arthur Smith is looking like a hack. And so now it might that to me would cause even more division and even more reason where Arthur Smith's like, well, I'm not gonna put Ritter in because that's just gonna seal the deal. Like I didn't know what I was talking about, and it makes it look like we should have let Terry Fontenot pick our coach.
Yeah,
because he knows what he's talking about. So now we gotta get rid of Arthur Smith. That's also a consideration he has to make. He can't let the back office feel like, dang, we messed up not letting our GM pick the coach.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like Terry Fontenot and Molly Mall. And Connor B, he says you've been thinking it's a long shot, but Lamar Jackson to Atlanta, I don't know.
With Arthur Smith.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Molly Mall says, can the Falcons join us on the couch this year? But it's ironic that Molly Mall commented because the Saints put together a really good team. Down in New Orleans, and Terry Fontenot was instrumental in that process. And
making sure they could afford it.
And making sure that they could look like they used to put people on layaway every year. And by the time the season started, you'd be like, how did they do this? we thought they were going to be rebuilding, but every year they will figure it out. So I mean, look, it's one of those situations where I I just kind of go back to the whole Arthur Smith thing. Well, Amy says this might be Marcus Mariota last game if he don't win on Sunday, and it could be. Dante says, Big Low, it's time to get off the Arthur Smith and Dean Pease train, and time for our Falcons to get a new head coach. And proud of what GM Terry Fontenot is doing. He's doing a great job. Yeah, I mean, and once again, I go back to Arthur Smith. Like, I'm not saying Arthur Smith is a bad coach. It's one of those situations where I feel like sometimes he thinks a little bit more of himself than he actually is. Like his play calling, I don't feel like he needs to be calling plays. Like you need to just be focusing on being the head coach. For example, that game on Thursday night, like you kind of blew the bag. You could have got some points before halftime, and he missed out on it because he's too busy trying to do too many things. You're not Andy Reid. You're not that guy. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's one of those things. Coach Red Swarm says, Coach Lowe and Coach Roney, I think Coach Smith is starting to lose the receivers because he ain't throwing the ball. Pitts looks like he's not giving 100% out there, and he's the leader in the receiver room. And look, it's like if I bring you here, to cook hot dogs, right? Red Swarm, if I say, hey, I'm hiring you to cook hot dogs for me. And I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, thank you so much for supporting the channel. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chair. And look, if y'all feel like there's some sort of disconnect here between Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith, and Arthur Smith needs to figure something out, make sure that you hit that like button. But look, Red Swarm, if I bring you here to cook hot dogs, I say, hey, I'm paying you to cook hot dogs for me. You're gonna be my hot dog cooker. The more you cook, the more money you make. Right? And every day I put the menu out, we doing hamburgers. But you can't cook no hamburgers. I don't want you.
Salad.
It's salad, yeah.
We're not cooking no meat.
We ain't making no meat. Ain't no cooking whatsoever. So you gonna start showing up and you're gonna be like, man, shoot. He told me I make more money, more hot dogs I make, but he just keep putting salad on the menu. You want to put hot dogs in the salad? No. We're just doing straight salad. After a while, you're gonna start coming to work, Red Swarm, and you're gonna just be there. You're gonna be standing over there to the side by your hot dog cart, cobweb. Yeah, you ain't gonna be paying no attention, Then somebody gonna be like, "Hey, I need a hot dog." You're like, "Oh, let me see. How am I supposed to? You want mayonnaise on it?" Like, no, nobody want no mayonnaise on a hot dog.
Tyler Russell said, we saw Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot outside a hotel in New Orleans last year. They seem to get along great. We talked to them for a few minutes and all seemed great.
I mean, yeah, and I completely understand that. Like, I seen them together before, but
I'll say, to me, I feel like the developments of this year have, even if they're, not to say that like they hate each other or anything, that's not what we're saying. But what we're saying is that because Fontenot is doing so well, it's putting more pressure on Arthur Smith. And that's causing a divide. Because now he has to worry about, all right, what do I need to do to protect my job? Because on this side with the GM, they're getting what they want. And my head coaching job is now going to be looked at as, this is the problem now. We've solved the money issue. Now let's figure out what the coaching issue is.
Exactly. And I completely agree with what you're saying, Coach Ronnie. Completely agree with what you're saying. Shouts out to Coach Let's Get It who joined the chat. I'm a person. He said, look, coaching isn't the issue. I think Arthur Smith is a good coach besides his play calling. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, as far as getting the team ready, and look at it. Cordell Patterson, he came out after the game. He said, hey, if y'all got a problem with y'all coach, then with my coach, then you got a problem with me. You beef with my coach, then you beefing with me.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear. But you also got to consider something. Who put Cordero Patterson in a position where he's the focal point of the offense? No other coach has done that for him. So he has a little bit of a vested interest in Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
Like all of the other coaches that he played for in the NFL, nobody's really said, "Hey, you're gonna touch the ball 20 times a game." So, you know, so I mean, if somebody was looking out for me like that, I'd be like, "Hey, y'all beefing with y'all beefing with Coach Roney, you beefing with me." You, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
What are you saying? You
it,
have a vested interest?
I got a vested interest. Got a vested interest.
You're defending me, yeah, because of me, but it also has a lot to do with how I interact with you and the benefit you get from me.
Exactly. Um, Jared J says, if we keep losing, Marcus Mariota gonna cause Arthur Smith to lose his job. Well, and this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I really feel like Arthur Smith. I feel like they've talked, and to a certain extent, this team is exceeding expectations. Now, I feel like it's one of those cases where whatever happens, Arthur Smith is going to be here next year.
Man, I don't want that. I do not want to pay for season tickets to see more Arthur Smith shenanigans.
Well, but what I'm saying is that so it's really going to kind of set you back a year because you don't know what you have with Desmond Ritter. So it's one of those cases where it's like, okay, since we don't know what we have, like that quarterback position is a big mystery. So R. Smith's going to be like, I mean, quarterback position, you know, there was a situation. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's gonna, the ball's kind of in his court, unless the Falcons do something very unconventional and make a change. But
So I'm seeing in the chat some chatter about they want you to hear about your opinion on that O line. Fire Lab Studio says, "Let's talk that O line."
well, it's kind of interesting. Guess who just came back to practice today? Who came off of IR? Everybody's great friend, Jalen Mayfield. Jalen Mayfield just got off of OR. So, I mean, IR. So, I hope he didn't come out of operating room.
Chosen One says, even if we put Ritter in, the O line sucks. The defense is not getting pressure, and the secondary can't guard a high school football team.
Well, the thing is, guys, if we go back and watch those games, like if we go back and watch that Carolina Panthers game, almost every sack that came from the blitz. Carolina Panthers, they were loading up the box and they were run blitzing. Those run blitzes were turning into pass blitzing. The thing is that Marcus Mariota is like he was panicking. He wasn't calling out blitzes. And it's like he just didn't know. Like when is the last time Marcus Mariota threw to a hot read? Like how many check down catches have we seen Cordero Patterson catch this season? We haven't seen it because Marcus Mariota isn't going through his progressions. Either he's back there panicking, stepping out of bounds on third down, or it's one of those situations where he's doing pirouettes and throwing, or it's one read and go kind of a situation. So I mean, if we really look at it, it's like yes, the offensive line has struggled, but they're struggling mainly because they're getting sacks on these blitzes on us. We can run block. We know that this team isn't a doggone uh isn't that good at pass blocking, but when it comes to calling out blitzes, Marcus Mariota hasn't really done it. He hasn't really manipulated the offensive line like we seen a Mr. Desmond Ritter do in the preseason. Right? It's like Marcus Mariota is like he's just living off of his God given ability to make plays with his legs, but he's forgetting that quarterbacks have to make plays with their arm.
What are we doing about the O? Is this about the O line?
Well, I mean, yeah, because they were asking because you said that you don't want to put Ritter in there behind that O line, but I was saying that I don't think the O line is as bad as everybody thinks it is. It's just a big a lot of it is on the quarterback. The quarterback isn't calling things out that he needs to
There
call
are
out.
things he can do that to help compensate for the
Hmm.
bad O line that he's
Yeah,
not doing.
that he's not doing.
Yeah.
He's
So,
not doing.
your O line can't hold people for 8 seconds or however long you need. Oh, you gotta be more like Joe Burrow, who gets rid of that ball.
Joe Burrow let it go. He let that thing
But
fly.
it's accurate.
But
Like,
he know his offensive line can't block.
right, because he knows his offensive line is not gonna be able to hold anybody. So hey, I can't hold on to this. I can't just rely on my natural ability to scramble and all that stuff. I gotta get this ball out my hands as quickly as possible. And if I can't, throw it away. Throw it away.
But to answer your question, Fire Lab Studios, as far as that O line goes, because just like Coach Rody said, you got to make those decisions fast. That's why you know, they do those Wonder Link. That's why the Wonder Link scores are so important for quarterbacks because they want to know how fast you can process information. But the thing is that we got multiple positions on our offensive line that are going to be replaced next year. Think about it. Drew Dalman, he can't continue to be your center. Y'all seen all those low snaps that we had last on Thursday?
Yeah.
You know, um, Caleb McGarry. I feel like they're going to move on from him. On the left guard position, they're probably going to move on from him. Chris Lindstrom is probably going to get a new contract. I was talking to Smitty yesterday. He was saying by the time you pay AJ Terrell, Chris Lindstrom, um, and a couple of other re-signings, that's going to be about $30 million of your cap space right there. So it's like everybody needs to realize it's not going to be, you know, y'all ain't gonna be like JD and Jay Z, with the top down screaming out money ain't the thing. You gonna have some business decisions to make. My mom says, can I talk about another elephant in the room? Can the Falcons tickets be sold at gas stations next year?
Such a hater.
My mom. You need to keep the hate out your heart, Bo.
If they're selling ours at gas stations, they're selling the Saints on Groupon.
Man, please. But hey, definitely appreciate that, Molly Mall. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Well, Amy says, Big Low, do you think Arthur Smith is on the hot seat next year? I mean, I feel like if he don't start out hot, Arthur Blank, I think they said he normally keeps coach. If that coach is struggling, he'll keep him for like 3.2 years. Is that 3.2 years? You got to go. 3.2 years, you got to go.
That's what I'm saying. You need to let it go. That's how you find the diamonds. You gotta be willing to move on.
You gotta be willing to move on. What's going on, Coach Bridget?
That's how I found you.
That's it. That's it.
I got rid of those chumps quick.
You got rid of
One
them.
phone call, it's not working. You know what?
This ain't
Don't
gonna
call
work.
me back. Let's keep it moving until a real one comes along.
So old slick talking country boy called. She didn't want to talk to me at first, y'all. That's the thing. She's like, yeah, I hate really trying to talk to nobody. Oh, well, you finna talk to me, Shotty. Will Doc says, what up, Bo? He said, I'm still arguing with folks that we should have gotten Justin Fields instead of Kyle Pitts. Woo! Man. I mean, look, as much as you're using Kyle Pitts, this is what I was talking about this other day. For as much as you're using Kyle Pitts and Drake London, you could have just gotten George Pickens.
Yeah.
For what you're doing with Drake London. You could have saved that. You could have got Jordan Davis, and help shore up this defense, but address that O line. But they trust this legendary Dean Pease defense so much, they felt like they could put a mailman in there and they could have got the job done.
Oh, of course, Jerry Murphy talking about he disagrees with that.
Oh, Drake.
His boy.
Drake, Kyle freaking Pitts. Man. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So look, it's just one of those things. Let's get it. Says that's my point. Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback last year. His O line was trash, and where did they end up? The Super Bowl.
Well, right. So you can overcome the O line
Yeah,
with the quarterback. With
exactly,
quarterback play, the O line can be. You can compensate for a bad O line.
exactly. He says our O line, as far as our pass blocking, isn't as bad as people make it seem. This O line wasn't as bad as the Bengals O line last year. I'm just gonna put that
When
out
they were
there.
in the Super Bowl. Somebody did some like sports science thing on Joe Burrow and how quickly he gets the ball out of his hands. And
Mm-hmm.
it was really interesting. It's super fast.
Yes.
And guess what? His receivers put up numbers, running backs put up numbers. It's and that bad old line, you still go to the Super Bowl with it.
I mean, and see, the thing is that whenever you get the ball out your hands quick, like it resolves so many issues because you make your linebackers indecisive. They don't know if they should come up or stay back. It should move side to side. Those linebackers, they start fault stepping, because that ball's coming out quick. You're running that play action, that ball's coming out fast. The running game opens up. But once again, I'm telling y'all, Marcus Mariota, he shows so much indecisiveness. It's like the ball's not coming out quick.
That's Tyler Russell just said. Joe Burrow is also decisive and accurate.
That's
That's
it.
important.
That's it. That's very important. Because I mean, and it's important to be decisive, but you got to be accurate because overthrowing Kyle Pitts 20 yards downfield, that's not going to do nothing for you.
I saw that replay. Somebody played. I was like, man, that's a guaranteed touchdown right there. Guaranteed. And did you see Kyle Pitts' face after that ball flew?
No, I didn't see it.
He looked like despondent. Like it just flashed across his face. Like, dang, here we go again. Like, I'm upset. I'm sad. This was an opportunity, and it's done. It wasn't even close. There was no way I could have fixed that.
22-year-old kid. It's like, how you expect a 22-year-old kid to react. Skylar Thomas says, I said at the beginning of the season that Ritter should have started the entire year. We didn't have anything to lose.
No, we didn't.
That's
Nobody
it.
was expecting us to win. Boomer the Falcon says there are 92 people in here and only 48 likes. Please help the coach.
Please help the coach out.
Hit the like button.
Please hit the like button. I promise. Look, if you don't want me to dance at your wedding one day, I sing at it. I sing it.
Give him a little bit.
I sing it. Wait a minute. Let me see. I've been in love time or two.
All right.
In the end, I still chose you.
Don't give him too much.
That can't give him too much. Can't give him too much of that. No one could ever make me feel this way.
Don't sing that one.
I can't say that one. I can't say that one.
We're not making love. But it is a good song. I encourage y'all to hit that like.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Well, the doc said, no, y'all understand me. He said, I wanted Kyle Pitts. Okay. I got you, Coach Willie Doc. I got you. He said he wanted Kyle Pitts. I got you. But yeah.
Thank you, Jay Nalifa. He said he hit the like button for me.
Oh, appreciate that, Jay. Thank you so much.
B. Kind said he hit it as well. He was on his way in, but the reminder helped because he forgets once in a while.
Hey, I understand that, Coach. I understand that. But, at the end of the day, it's one of those situations where, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're still in the playoff hunt. And I really feel like with Doc says, more wedding songs, please. Da-da-da. That's a Superman chat. Oh, man. Coach Project says, hey, Coach, you need to get on that Lessons remix by Eric Robinson. Certified banger. Lessons. Wait a minute. Which one is that?
I don't know.
I would have to check that one out, coach. I would have to check that one out. And the crazy thing is that I had a few people say, "Hey, coach, it's one of those situations. We're harping on Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder too much." I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you when I say this, Bo. It's like I feel like there have been games we could have won because of the quarterback situation.
Wasn't the O line.
It wasn't the O
In spite
line.
of the O line, in spite of the defense, that's struggling.
Yeah,
We still could have won.
we still could have
We
won.
had more decisive quarterback
More
play,
decisive.
or what?
More decisive quarterback play, not trying to run somebody over at the goal line and fumbling. I mean, just multiple things. It's like I feel like it. I feel like it's one of those situations where you talk about, if you have a channel, you talk about the things that irk you. You talk about the things that need to be addressed. And I feel like that's one of the things that need to be addressed. At the end of the day, you know. But it's like I said at the beginning of the stream, as far as the Chicago Bears, like I feel like the Chicago and with all that being said, I still feel like the Chicago Bears, everybody's worried about stopping Justin Fields. The Chicago Bears need to be worried about stopping us. I feel like this could be a high scoring game because we ain't stopping nobody. You know,
like Seattle out there.
Count up, count up, count up, count it. That's how it is. But what did we sign Brian Edwards for? I don't know. I think they just like the way he looked in the uniform. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, Chicago, they still have to worry about stopping us. Yes, Justin Fields has ran for a lot of yards. But the thing is, guys, is that we have to remember that he's had 2 games where he's ran, a whole bunch of yards. That ship is gonna sail after a while, Bo. They're gonna start spying him a little bit more. We run a lot of zone coverage. Y'all know what zone coverage is. That means that basically everybody is spying the quarterback. Everybody's looking forward. Nobody's turned around. If you run that man coverage, then the quarterback takes off running. I don't know because I'm trying to guard your receiver downfield. But if we're running zone and we're all facing the quarterback, that means everybody is checking them out. Jay says, "Hey, coach, your shirt is off the chain." Appreciate that, coach. Oh man, thank y'all so much. Coach Ronnie picked it out for me. Thank y'all so much. Jermaine says, he says, "I swear, if I see another loss from the Falcons, he says I'm gonna go all Kevin. What's that? Borseth on this? Who's Kevin Borseth, Coach Ronnie?"
I don't know.
Well, look, it must not be a good thing. It must not be a good thing. Skyler Thomas says, he says our secondary is the issue as well. Now, don't forget that AJ Terrell is coming back this week, so hopefully it'll be one of those cases where he'll actually play. He's back in practice.
The current head women's basketball coach at the University of Wisconsin. What did he do?
Oh man, he must have went off on somebody.
Yeah.
He must have went off. Tyler Russell says, I think we better off if we could throw some more. Arthur Smith thinks the fact that Kyle Pitts doesn't have Tyreek stats is okay. We don't. Tyreek is helping the Dolphins win games. and that's true. And my thing is, Kyle Pitts don't got to have Travis Kelce numbers or Tyreek Hill numbers. He doesn't have to have that, but we definitely have to make sure that the offense is balanced. And Miller Mills, he says, where's the pass rush at? That and that's another question. The Atlanta Falcons. Mal says, Big Low saying like Carl Thomas, daddy, Bull Thomas. What?
Okay, so Kevin Borseth stuff was a women's coach at Michigan. He had a press conference where he just went off.
Oh, okay. He went off on. He went off.
Yeah, slamming stuff down,
What?
yelling, screaming. He was very passionate.
Oh man, coach finna go off on. Dante said, "Big dope. Our Falcons are not beating the Bears with trash like Mariota. DPs in our defense, not blitz, no quarterbacks. And see and this is the thing, guys, is that we're blitzing so much that it's opening up everything on the back end. So whenever you continuously blitz, you're gonna leave a spot open on the field. If you got a quarterback that's worth his weight in salt, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna say, "Oh, they're blitzing from this gap. I got somebody who's gonna be there in 2 seconds. All I got to do is wait it out." They catch it, get a whole bunch of yards after catch, and they continue to do that and just get up the field. If we're not doing that, we're running that soft cover 3 shell, and you know they're literally just catching the ball and turning around. So it's literally like shooting fish in a barrel with a shotgun, bro. It's literally like shooting fish in a barrel with a shotgun. Fact of the matter is, we got to be able to get home with the front 3 or the front 4 that we have, and we're just not doing that. We got to bring 5 and 6, and I hate it. I hate it. You know, Marlon Mall says plot twist. Dennis Allen will be y'all defensive coordinator next year. Look, Dennis Allen, he wasn't a bad defensive coordinator, but he's a terrible coach. That's the thing. And that's how some people are. Dan Quinn, he wasn't a bad defensive coordinator, terrible coach. But he wasn't a bad defensive coordinator. He's doing real good in Dallas right now. Bridget Kelsey says Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver. Kyle Pitts is a tight end. There's a difference. Tight ends don't have wide receiver numbers. I mean, well, Coach Bridget, think about this. Look at Travis Kelsey. Well, his name is pronounced Kels. Look at Travis Kels. I mean, look at George Kittle before he got injured. Yeah. Look at Darren Waller. Mark Andrews. We could even take it back. We could even take it back to when Jimmy Graham was killing it in New Orleans. Like, there's been multiple tight ends that get wide receiver numbers.
You play fantasy football, you know those tight ends.
Yeah.
Get crazy.
You know those guys. And think about this. Kyle Pitts, his numbers, he's more talented than all of those guys. He got drafted 4th overall, the highest tight end drafted overall. So with that being said, it's like, and like I said, Bridget, we don't want him to get, Tyreek Hill numbers, but we know that he's more than capable of doing it in the right offense.
I don't care who catches the ball. I don't care if it's a tight end, wide receiver, running back. Somebody needs to catch that ball.
I don't care who it is.
Somebody needs to throw that ball on target so that can happen.
I don't care who it is. Mr. Hebrew 7 says, from a Chicago Bears fan who has lived in Atlanta for 45 years, I'm a Justin Fields fan first. Bear down. Ain't that wrong with that, Coach?
Fields. First of all, I drafted him in all my fantasy football leagues, and he's showing out. These last couple of weeks, he's been showing out, and I really feel like Sunday he's gonna go crazy. He needs it desperately. He just lost. And he stayed in the locker room for an hour after everybody left because he was so upset by that loss.
I mean, it's like, and the thing is, the thing about Justin Fields is that, yes, he's put up some crazy rushing numbers and some crazy fantasy football numbers. But what is this passing game been looking like?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. It's like, sooner or later, he busted out some big runs these last couple of weeks. But at the end of the day, you're still going to have to play quarterback. And you're not going to be able to break off those big runs like that. You ain't going to be able to break those big runs like that off every week. Even Lamar Jackson, who I would say, one of the best rushing quarterbacks of all time. He ain't doing that every week. And whenever he show everybody that he could throw the ball as well, that's whenever he won MVP.
So you're saying Justin Fields needs to show that he can also throw that ball?
Yeah, and I think he's capable of doing it.
Yeah.
He just got to get everything together.
Is this gonna be the week where he figures it all out?
It's the perfect situation.
It is.
It's the perfect situation.
It is.
But Mr. Hebrew 7, thank you so much for chilling out with us, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. That's that dun dun dun. That's a Superman chat.
The ideal defense.
Yes.
Ideal environment.
Back home. Team skipped over him. And don't forget this. Now. Dean Pease defense struggles with rushing quarterbacks.
They struggle with anybody. They struggle with rushing quarterbacks, running backs, catching wide receivers. They struggle with all those guys.
So a lot of people don't know this. Bill Belichick never lost to Cam Newton.
Never won.
I'm sorry, never beat Cam Newton. And this defense that Dean Pease runs is a variation of that Bill Belichick defense. So, we haven't really played against a mobile quarterback really this year. So this is going to be a really good test to see where this defense is. Basically to see exactly how disciplined this defense is. Dirty Bird says, Coach Lowe, they said the same thing about Lamar. Plus, Justin got a competent gameplay that fits his strengths. He says that his growth is explosive. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I remember like the whole Kurt Fluffle, whenever we had a chance to draft him, and we kind of skipped over him. We went ahead and got Kyle Pitts. Coach Let's Get It says, to his defense, Coach Justin Fields doesn't have the requisite weapons around him to develop him as a quarterback. They are in complete rebuild mode. And that's true. That's true. That's why they went ahead and traded for Chase Claypool. So, it's one of those situations. Kobe says, I can't explain in words how much I hate Michael Walker. Oh, yes, and Ogadage.
Oh, well.
Hey, I mean,
put it out there.
Hey, just put it out there, Bo. Michael Walker, I ain't even gonna say he's on the struggle bus. He's been driving it. He's been driving the struggle bus this year. And it's one of those situations where I feel like our defensive coordinator hadn't put him in the right situation. I don't feel like he's a Mike linebacker. I feel like he's kind of playing out of his position. And these guys have been things like that. Sometimes you don't know which gap you're supposed to go into. Sometimes, you're fault stepping. Sometimes you're just hesitating a little bit too much. I feel like he's doing the equivalent of what Marcus Mariota is doing on the offensive side of the ball. Because one thing, whenever my first head coaching job, one thing that the coach used to say all the time, and it really rings true. He said, "Hey man, just let your body go." he said, just let your body go. Just play ball. If you make a mistake, we can fix that later on. But nothing looks worse than you trying to, no, I'm going this way instead. That hurts everybody. If we just happen to go into the same hole, we play the same gap, that's cool. We play a spill and kill kind of defense. So maybe we might be able to knock that offensive lineman over to fill that hole up or something. But if we hesitating and you coming late to the party, playing on CP time, then we having some problems. Jay said, we get our cornerbacks back, we good. Yeah. If AJ could come back, that would definitely help, man. I think Casey, he's gonna be done for the season. Unfortunately, I think he's done. I think he's done. Coach Ron to put the scissors in here for Walker.
That was at the request of Dre Murphy.
Oh, that was at the request of Dre. Dre said, "Hey, Coach, you know what to do." Oh man, Jermaine Simmons. He says the fans don't want any more incompetence from the Falcons, and we better win on Sunday against Chicago.
agree with him. The incompetence piece is what really upsets me. We look stupid so consistently, and it's like, why is that not more important when you're recruiting a coach? Like, hey, don't put my team in this situation where they look ill prepared. They look like second class players. Like they look like they have no business out there, and we make fools of ourselves on national TV.
And that's what I think. That's what made it hurt even worse. Like you look forward to that primetime game all year. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only one we got.
That's the only one we got. We playing our arch rivals.
Our bitter rivals.
Ain't no Panthers in Carolina. you play your arch rivals, and you just go out and you just lay an egg. Like, come on, man. Nathan Bethel says watching Marcus play in college, play his college career at Oregon, he is lights out in the second half of the year. He's a dude. He's lights out. I'm hoping that you're right, Coach. I'm definitely hoping that you're right.
Well, we need some of that now.
Yeah. We need some of that magic.
Honestly, I don't want it because I don't want that to be a reason to hold on to him.
And that's the thing. It's like, you look at that San Francisco game, everybody's like, okay, he might have found it. He might get back on track. Then, you turn around and, pirouette throw.
No reason our Mike super chat has something to do with that.
Oh, okay. Also, Dre says, Coach Lowe, aka Beloved. That's what T-Bar said. As he said in her song in the Red Light Special. You gotta let your body go, Beloved. Hello.
To an Atlanta R&B trio.
Baby, it's yours.
Oh, he's talking to anybody out there. If you want
Oh man, you all are crazy. Iron Mike says with a Superman chat, he says, well, Mariota just gotta let his body go. And we ended up with a somersault and cartwheel pass.
Oh wait, somebody said let it go? Okay.
I would let it go like you ain't never seen. You ain't said nothing but a word, bro. You call me Elsa. Right. Dun, dun, dun. That's Superman check. Oh man, y'all are crazy, boy. Y'all are crazy. Rise up, Melvin. Rise up. Chuck Mike says he's driving the bus with bad brakes. That's rough right there.
Millie Mills asked how you gonna feel at the game when fans start chanting for Ritter.
Oh man.
Atlanta's not that kind of city
though. You know what? They were booing a couple times.
Well, out of frustration, but I don't know if they'll start chanting for Ritter. No, this is not the North. They don't really be booing so much down here.
Yeah, they really don't. But I mean, when's the last time we've been in this situation?
Yeah, that's true. I could see this situation.
Yeah,
pulling something out of fans. It's the frustration.
Yeah. Sean Amen says he feels like our kicker needs to be clutch for this one. I feel like Cool will be ready. Especially after last week.
Hopefully it's just a rain.
Yeah, hopefully. Dante said Ritter time. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a whole lot of other factors that come into play when it comes to this Chicago game, but I mean, we got to be honest. The quarterback have a lot to do with it. Choir member Patterson says it's time to get rid of Mariota. With the puns. Willie Doc says Vic and Chandler were the last time we were in this situation. And that's right, Willie Doc. Y'all remember how it was.
What happened?
We had Chris Chandler and Michael Vick.
Wait, Michael Vick at the same time?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Because Chris Chandler like kept getting hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt a lot.
Yeah. We would call him Christian Chandelier. Yeah.
That.
And you know, and Michael Vick, he didn't start immediately. Yeah, and they ended up bringing him in. And, you know, it was all go after that. Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the year when the new jerseys came out and all that.
Oh, okay.
Stuff on the sleeve.
The New Jersey came out 2 years after Michael Vick started.
So then it was the next year?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Let's get it. Says, I'm surprised that back throw wasn't on Come On Man on Monday Night Football. I'm surprised it wasn't either. I'm surprised, Coach. JJ the Great says, Coach Lowe, over or under. How many Fields jerseys you gonna see at the game on Sunday? 50. 50. It depends on where I'm gonna be at. Oh man. Mr. Hebrew, he says Smith is not gonna put Ritter in with that bum O-line. I mean, that's a Superman chat. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like everybody keeps saying that, you know, we got to protect Ritter from that bum O-line. The fact of the matter is that Desmond Ritter is a professional quarterback. You know, whenever he got drafted into the NFL, I'm sure he understood that there's going to be some extenuating circumstances, and he might have to play behind a bad offensive line. So, I mean, you know, it's kind of like what one of my good friends, you know, what one of my good friends' dad told them about getting married. He said, "Look, it's never the right time." He said, "Hey, it's never the perfect time for it." And, you know, I mean, we kind of say that about Desmond Ritter. Like when is the perfect time? I mean, so you know, it's one of those situations. Mr. CDX says, "Can't wait to get in my seat so I can boo the Bears." You already know. Hashtag rise up.
I love a good booing.
Oh man. Well, look, man, I definitely appreciate everybody for coming on and chilling out with us. Thank y'all so much. I had to just get a little bit of stuff off my chest in regards to this whole Marcus Mariota situation and, you know, the direction that the Atlanta Falcons are going in.
Wait a minute. Chris B said he wants to give us a little bit of history about Dean Pease. He said his coaching career began at the University of Findlay in Ohio, founded in 1882. He began as a ball boy in 1882 and then became a part of the coaching staff later
on. In 1882. What did they do in overtime? Did they have a duel? Like what? That's where sudden death came from. We gotta do something else. Too many people die. I'm not gonna waste my shot. 1882. 1882. Boy, y'all are crazy. Oh man, but yeah. The DP defense is outdated. Well, I won't say it's outdated. I feel like he's just not adapting to
it might have some solid principles, but it has to adapt to this current game, and he's not doing that.
I love the 3-4 defense. Yeah. Like, to a certain extent, you know, a lot of high schools. Whenever I was coaching in high school, we ran a 3-5, and it was basically the same kind of principle, you know, spill and kill principle. And you know, you can do a lot of great things with it. But Dean Pease, you know, he's running at our front at 3-4. He's just not. He's not changing things up enough, and you know, we getting our draws burnt off. We gotta go. You know, we gotta go on Bombas and online and order some new draws. You know, because we just ain't got no more. All of them got burn holes in them. Oh man. Well, look, man. I appreciate y'all for coming on chilling out with us. Thank y'all so much. Hopefully we get this dub on Sunday. But look, y'all take care. Please don't do anything that I would do. Y'all already know what time it is, man. What in the world, but we ready. We still ready. Y'all take it easy.